The fluorescent lights buzzed softly in St. Mary's Hospital as Emily Parker, a young nurse fresh out of training, rushed through the crowded hallway. It was her third double shift that week, and her tired eyes barely caught the digital clock striking midnight. She sighed, another long night surrounded by pain, fear, and exhaustion. But tonight, something felt different. Room 407. A new patient had arrived, Mr. Lewis, an elderly man admitted after a heart attack. His file said refuses treatment, wants to be left alone. Emily hesitated before entering, hearing his gruff voice through the door. I said no more tests. I'm done. Inside, Mr. Lewis sat scowling, his oxygen mask hanging loose. His weathered hands trembled as he tried to push away the 4-line. Emily walked in quietly, her voice calm. Mr. Lewis, my name's Emily. I'm just here to check your vitals. I don't need checking, he muttered. I've had enough of hospitals. Enough of everything. Emily noticed a faded photograph on his bedside table, a smiling woman holding a young girl. Your family, she asked gently. He turned away. My wife and daughter. Both gone. No point in living when there's no one left. His words hit her like a wave. Emily remembered her own father's last days in a hospital just like this, how he too had lost hope before the end. She swallowed hard and pulled up a chair. You know, she began softly, when my dad was here, he used to say hospitals felt like prisons. But one night, a nurse sat with him, just talked. She didn't fix anything, but she made him smile. That smile gave me the strength to keep going even after he was gone. Mr. Lewis looked up for the first time, his sharp eyes now glimmering with something softer. And you became that nurse? Emily nodded, smiling behind her mask. I guess I did. They sat in silence for a moment. Then, almost shyly, he said, would you stay a little while? That night, Emily stayed long after her shift ended. She listened to his stories about his wife's laughter, his daughter's wedding, the house he built by hand. She shared stories of her own fears and dreams. Slowly, the cold hospital room began to feel human again. Days passed, and Mr. Lewis started cooperating with treatment. He joked with the staff. He even called Emily his granddaughter in scrubs. But one morning, as Emily entered his room, she found only an empty bed and a neatly folded blanket. Her heart sank. The head nurse handed her a small envelope. He asked me to give you this, she said. Inside was the photograph, his wife and daughter, and a short note in shaky handwriting. You reminded me that kindness is medicine too. Thank you for giving me a reason to fight again and for making an old man feel loved one last time. Emily held the photo to her chest, tears blurring her vision. She wasn't sure if he had passed away or been discharged, but either way, his message stayed with her. That night, as another patient cried in pain down the hall, Emily walked in tired, overworked, but with the same gentle smile. Because sometimes, healing begins not with medicine but with kindness. Sparkle's message, true kindness doesn't always come from grand gestures. Sometimes, it's found in the quiet moments, a smile, a conversation, a hand that doesn't let go. In a world where everyone is fighting their own battles, a little compassion can bring someone back to life.